Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel, I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today, we are taking part in the Doughvember collaboration. It is our second and final video for the collaboration, and I'm super excited because we are actually going to be making a carnivore calzone. I know that calzones are typically not carnivore, and even fathead dough is not technically carnivore, but I have come across a recipe that actually uses pork rinds instead of almond meal. This has been something that I've been wanting to try for a long time. I thought it would work, but I never actually did it. Came across the recipe and saw pictures, and it kind of showed that it worked. So let's see what we can come up with. The first thing that we need to do is start melting our cheese. The absolute majority of fathead dough is made using the microwave. I don't like to microwave anything when it's possible to avoid it, so we're gonna cook it on a stovetop. If you remember my first Doughvember collaboration video, we did make the fathead dough on the stove. That time I used the double boiler, which I don't think is necessary if I do this at low enough of a heat. So we are gonna get 1.5 cups of mozzarella and 2 ounces of cream cheese melting in this. I'm using a non-stick pan, so let's do it. And remember, we're gonna do this at a pretty low temperature, so this might take just a little while to actually do. While we're waiting for this to actually melt, we're gonna go ahead and crush up our pork rinds. These are the pork rinds I'm using because these are the pork rinds I like, and these are the pork rinds that I have. I know that you can get pork rind breadcrumbs. They make them like pre-crushed, but I'm sure they're insanely expensive and I don't have them, so. Got it all melty. You can see it's just kind of stretchy and cheesy. Now we're gonna add 1 room temperature egg to this and get it kind of mixed in there. You want it to be room temperature and not cold straight from the fridge. It can cool off the dough too much. Okay, I don't think it matters if I add in this right now. And we're just using the pork rinds instead of the almond meal or the coconut flour. I bet it probably would be turning out a little better if I had crushed up the pork rinds in like a food processor or use the pre-done breadcrumbs. Let's get 2 pieces of parchment and roll this guy out. This is acting a lot different than the other one, but we're gonna make do because I want to persevere and see if this will work. So it's definitely kind of a wetter dough, and I think that is simply due to the pork rinds that I used are not the flour. So I could tell they were pretty fluffy. So anyways, let's roll this guy out. Okay. I can work with that. Okay, let's set this aside to cool for just a second, just to give it a little bit of rigidity. For this, we're actually gonna be doing some kind of like a white chicken pizza type of thing. I just have a bunch of chicken in my fridge because I made a bunch of broth and now I have to go through the chicken. So we're gonna put it on pizza and we're gonna use this white sauce here. Today is actually the first day that I am doing like carnivore plus fermented foods. Bearing that in mind, I'm gonna be doing, this is gonna be a slight deviation, but it's the best deviation that I could find because obviously red sauce is not carnivore at all. And this one is as mostly carnivore as I could get it. We have several different types of Alfredo sauces in there. And I looked into making my own Alfredo sauce, but I simply just don't have the ingredients necessary for it. So this is the best one that I could find. So it has organic vegetable stock, buttermilk, Parmesan and Romano cheeses, milk, cheese, and then sunflower oil. So sunflower oil is like the 6th or 7th ingredient, and it does have a little bit of rice starch in there and xanthan gum. So like I said, not perfect, but I'm gonna make sure to get the ingredients that I need to make my own Alfredo sauce or white sauce of some variety, and then next time I'll be doing that. Most of you guys watching this video could not care less, but some of you guys out there might care because you might be coming in because you're seeing the carnivore calzone, and so I just want to make sure I'm throwing in that caveat. This is not 100,000% carnivore, but it's as close as I can get right now. If you have the ability to make your own white sauce, you do you, and I will next time. So at any rate, let's go ahead and kind of heat up our stuff. Probably want to see this, huh? Okay, so we have our pan. No, we don't. Now we have our pan. We're gonna go ahead and take the parchment paper off. This is, I got a good feeling about this. I do. Rolling it out, I was skeptical. Very skeptical, if I'm honest. There we go. Got it separated. Now let's get our chicken on here. I forgot the bacon. I was gonna make bacon. I completely forgot to cook up the bacon that I was gonna put in this. Let's pause. I'm gonna cook the bacon off and then we'll be right back, okay? The bacon is cooked. Let's go ahead. We're just gonna fill up half of this, like, you know, kind of like, you're basically just gonna do like here, like in like a semicircle. That's all we're aiming for here, really. Now, the hard part. We're gonna try and pull this up and get the edges to seal. Oh geez, we could fill this up even more. Hold that, hold please. So just kind of pinch it together. And we're gonna pop this into a 425-degree oven until it's done. Be careful when you're cooking this thing because I put it in there and cooked it and it looked almost done. So I moved it to the top rack for like 2 or 3 more minutes and then it got overcooked. It's not burnt, but don't let it get quite this crispy, okay? You probably want it to just be kind of like a nice tan, like any other pizza crust would be. So, there we go. We're gonna go ahead and dig into this guy. Alrighty. You can hear that, right? That is, I definitely, like I said, this is my first time making this. Fill it up more than I did. It's really flat. But it's still gonna be delicious. Half of this is for hubby. I'm really regretting not filling this up more. It's not quite as fluffy as a normal calzone would be. But it's still gonna be tasty. It's just gonna be a little flatter than it would be otherwise. So let's dig in. Really don't need a fork for this, so let's just eat it. That was more the crust. Let's get a bite of the filling. Okay, this is delicious. This is a perfect. This crust works perfectly as a completely carnivore crust. Totally works. This is fantastic. It held together well. It cooked well. It was easy to roll out. It was easy to transfer, easy to fold. Everything about this crust was easy. So, completely approve of the crust. Definitely fill it up, I would say fill it up way more than you'd like. I would have at least doubled the amount of filling that I put in there, as well as the sauce. It's a little bit on the dry side. Feel free to be a little bit more heavy-handed than I was with the sauce. I hope that you guys are inspired, if you guys, especially if you guys are carnivore, but even if you're not, this is a fantastic low-carb option that you can totally make, and it's delicious. So I would highly recommend it, and it's also something that comes together really quickly. So if you don't have the time to wait for a normal pizza crust to rise and to do all the things that it has to do, this thing comes together in like 5 minutes. So totally a great weeknight meal. Just make sure to do those couple little changes and you'll be golden. Check the description down below. I'm gonna leave the links to all the channels that are participating in the Doughvember collaboration, and make sure that you check out Touloulou Creates. Comment on all of the videos that are taking part in the collaboration, because every time that you comment on a video is an entry to win the prize at the end of the month, or rather at the end of the collaboration. Touloulou Creates is going to be giving away a dough making kit. So make sure that you guys are commenting as much as possible to be entered for that to win. And check the description box down below and you're going to find all the channels that are taking part in the collaboration. Make sure you check them out, send them some love, watch all the videos, all that fun stuff. If you guys are new around here, we just moved to our 30-acre homestead in southern Missouri. I'm sharing with you all the things that we're doing to turn our home into a homestead. Most of that's here in the kitchen with canning, freezing, dehydrating, and fermenting, as well as sharing with you ways that you can use that food in your everyday cooking. If that sounds awesome to you, click this button right here. This is the subscribe button. This is what tells YouTube you want to come back here. Up here is a video that Mr. Google Pants thinks that you're going to enjoy. Over here's my last Doughvember collaboration, and then up here is going to be my keto playlist. For all the awesomeness, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.